Hey everyone, and welcome to our August webinar all about AI. Today we're going to be discussing AI and how it can support your social media strategy. There's a ton of information and opinions out there about what it actually is, and the reality is that it's here, and knowing how to use it to your advantage is only going to help your business going forward. We're super excited to give you a demo of our AI tool, Social Sidekick, at the end of the webinar today, so be sure to stick around. And as always, feel free to leave any questions in the chat in the chat box below, and we'll be sure to answer these at the end. But before we officially get started, just a quick round of intros for those of you who don't already know us. My name is Kelly Rouse, and I'm a customer success manager here at Denim Social. I work with our customers to maximize their usage on the platform and help them with their social selling strategies overall.
Hi, everyone. I'm Connor Phillips. I'm the marketing manager here at Denim Social. And a big part of my role is helping our brand, team, and customers put their best foot forward on social media. So we're really excited to share some of our knowledge with you today.
All right. And my name is Sarah Stutchberry. I'm a solutions consultant here at Denim Social. And what that means for this conversation is that I'm going to be serving as the product expert. So I will be walking you through Social Sidekick at the end, hopefully showing you guys how the Social Sidekick tool can help your business and help your social selling programs. So really excited to get going.
Thanks, ladies. All right, so let's jump in. So Connor, what's all the hype about? I feel like AI is all anyone is talking about these days.
Yes, Kelly, you're right. And it really does seem like it's everywhere. I've been to several conferences this year, and AI was a huge point of discussion at all of them. Plus, in just the broader marketing world, it's the number one thing that everyone wants to learn more about and become an expert in. And I think there's this really interesting intersection between AI and social media that I think is really important to people and institutions that are looking to market themselves and grow in an increasingly digital world and in an economy that's kind of uncertain. So if you're trying to up your social media game, become more tech savvy, amidst all of this digital transformation and, stay relevant, I really think learning, how to make AI work for you is a great thing to have in your tool belt.
I totally agree, Connor. And if you're wondering how it works, or maybe you're not so familiar with it, Connor, would you mind walking us through the basics?
Yeah, definitely. And I think before you use it, it's really good to have a baseline understanding of what it's actually doing for you. So essentially, just a very broad overview, it works kind of like this. So these AI tools learn by collecting these vast amounts of data and info on the web. Users will input a question, a request, or a statement into the tool, and then using parameters set by the user, and then based on all of that powerful data at hand, AI will produce a really optimized answer. So users can then ask for more detail, a different format, or just a different response if they want something else. So if you have used ChatGPT or any other AI tool like that, you know that these are all really great at synthesizing a lot of information to give you an exact response that you need. So to me, it's almost like a way better, more powerful Google search. It's super fast. It can help you come up with great content or a response you need without having to scour the web for a long time or spend a lot of effort coming up with exactly what you need.
Yeah, and I agree, Connor. I actually think this is amazing how it all works. I'm also sure everyone would also like to know, why is it relevant for financial services on social media in particular?
Yeah, Kelly, I think truly anyone can benefit from using AI with social media. And I think it comes back to that intersection between the two that I talked about. For so many of our customers at Denim Social and just different marketers in the financial industry that want to get their teams active with social selling, there's just never enough time or resources to go around, it seems like. And writing and creating social content is very time consuming. And, it takes a lot of practice, and that's where AI comes into play. It can save you so much time by giving you exactly what you need. It can help you optimize your content based on which social media network you want to post to. And you can just post a lot more easily and efficiently. So overall, it's here to make your life much easier, and you can do way more with less, which I think is something everyone's looking for these days.
I totally agree with you, Connor. I do know though, a lot of our customers have asked about compliance when it comes to AI, and I'm sure a lot of you are wondering how that works. As you'll see in a bit, there's a way to use it though, and still have those compliance checkpoints set up to make sure that nothing unapproved will ever go out. It works the same with our platform as if you would compose a post yourself. But before we get into that, we just wanted to cover an important reminder.
Yeah, so before we go on, I think the most important thing to say is that AI is not meant to replace human beings. It's not meant to replace authentic connections that you have with your customers and your networks. And it's not about like just copy and pasting. It's really a launch pad to help get you your creative juices flowing, get your ideas started. And you should always edit it to make it sound like you and fix any of those small details that only you would know. So it's a tool to assist you. It's not to replace you. So just wanted to point that out before we get into it.
Absolutely, Connor. Well said. I could not have said that better myself. And now that we've covered some of the basics, Connor, would you mind getting more into the specifics of how AI can actually support your social selling strategy?
Yeah, so first things first, the greatest benefit of AI for social, in my opinion, is overcoming the dreaded writer's block, because no matter how little or how much experience you have posting on social media, sometimes the words just are not there. You can be like, I know I want to post something. I know I want to start being more active on social, but I just don't really know where to start or what to say first. And then even more so, if you're already doing another job, let's say you're a loan officer or an insurance agent or a financial advisor, you have so many other things to think about in a day or in a week. And with an AI tool, you can just start with that basic idea or maybe a link to an article or just a general thought. And it can help you turn that into a real message and a real post. And it's so helpful on those days where you want to get a post out, but you just kind of lack the mental energy or resources to get it done.
Exactly. And that dreaded writer's block that's something that I speak to customers about all the time. Producers are often asking, what do I post? Where do I get started? And I can tell you now that AI is a huge, huge help with this obstacle. It provides you with text, that you can essentially customize and zhuzh up and make more authentic, and it takes less time. So it's very, very helpful in that way.
Yes, definitely. And I think another amazing benefit is the ability to create and customize unique posts. So with a tool like AI, you're not going to burn yourself out by batching up a bunch of social posts at the beginning of the week or month or quarter. And the ease with which you can create different social posts for various networks with different topics is really amazing. So setting aside like a little time on a regular basis to schedule out posts is a lot less daunting because there's more, there's less work on the front end. And if you feel like you're always posting the same thing, this can really help change things up to give you some fresh content ideas. So AI just overall helps working ahead a lot more manageable, and you can definitely get more done in less time.
Yeah, and in particular, I know for marketing teams or admins, this makes it so easy to be able to give your teams more content to work with. So, more content for them to push out to their networks. It really takes the burden off of everyone's shoulders to constantly be coming up with new messaging or new content. And Connor, I know it can get even trickier when multiple networks come into play as well.
Yeah, you read my mind, Kelly. So it can also help you optimize the content length for a given social network, which is a big deal if you're managing multiple accounts. And I personally love this benefit as a marketer. It can often be kind of frustrating to have to reword everything or reformat what you're saying based on the social network of choice. And especially if you're maybe trying to share the same thing and then you just have to keep coming up with new iterations of it. It's burdensome to change that wording just to fit a specific network.
Yeah, and if you've been around for a while or been to any of our webinars, we've dedicated several of them to learning about, the differences between social media networks and really how to optimize your content in those specific spaces. And it's no small task.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why having a tool that will take a message that you type out and then automatically adjust for each network's post is so useful. Because as we've learned in the past, what works as a message on Twitter might be different than what works on LinkedIn. And you don't have to be an expert in this. You just have to be smart about how you're using tools like this. And I think it's really cool that anybody can look like a social media pro now.
I agree, Connor. And another great benefit that I've seen is the ability to maximize efficiency and drive user adoption. And I know I personally get very, very excited about this one. So for a lot of admins and people running their institutions' social selling programs, driving user adoption, especially when you're first launching your program, it can be difficult. You can talk about the amazing benefits of social media all day long. And, we all know and see the difference that social media makes in businesses, but sometimes it can feel like nothing motivates users to get active on social.
I know, and I totally get it. It's hard, and just communicating the importance of social media is a challenge because it's very personal for each user and it takes time to really see results of it. It doesn't happen overnight. Building a community with your networks, growing your thought leadership. And then on the other hand, if you are an agent, a loan officer, an advisor, you're spending your days running your business. And sometimes it's hard to see the importance of social media. And it's like you're taking your own precious time to build your presence. So I definitely see both sides. But when you have tools like AI, it really is a win-win because admins and marketing teams can spend less time explaining and more time really showing their employees tangible results. Plus, providing content and resources, which I know teams are always asking for, is much easier to share. It's like, you click a button, it's so easy. It just takes a lot of that, middle work out. And then for those intermediaries and financial professionals, AI makes social media feel a lot more accessible, particularly if you're not very familiar with it, because it's not about overcoming this task of being super creative or knowing exactly what you need to say. Everybody can really spend more time on what matters to them and then build up their social media presence at the same time.
Yes, and this is sure to make activating your team much easier and more efficient on your end. All it takes is a quick tutorial, which we're going to jump into in just a moment. I'm sure you're all wanting to see how the magic works. I know it can seem a little intangible without showing those real results. We recently debuted our Denim Social AI tool, Social Sidekick, which has been such an exciting feature to talk about. I've loved it. So with that being said, our solutions consultant, Sarah, is going to walk you all through how it works so you can see for yourselves.
Yes, I'm very excited about this one. As someone who kind of works in the platform every day, the Social Sidekick tool is probably the thing I've had the most fun with and am the most excited about. And that's not only because it is going to help save time, help you optimize your existing content and make it really easy to post, but that's also because it's just kind of fun to use. And, we're going to start here in the compose feature. You guys should all be familiar with this, as most of you are Denim Social customers. But we've built the social sidekick tool right into the compose flow. So when you're going to create a post, it's kind of right here, ready to go. And we've talked about kind of some of the barriers that get, in the way of people being active on social. And number one that I hear most often is people not knowing exactly what to say. And that is where this, social sidekick tool is really going to help you, kick that barrier out of the way. So what you can do here in the text box is enter a prompt. So whether that's, a little note about a community event that you went to, or one of the many national holidays we've got. This month, I believe we've got National Financial Awareness Month, as well as National Women's Equality Day. So I'm going to go with National Women's Equality Day in honor of our all-female Denim Social panel today. And I'm just going to put that in the text box and generate a social post. And as you can see, it does its little work, and then it generates a social post based on that prompt. So it includes any relevant hashtags. It also includes emojis. And that's kind of the first pass at it. It's going to create that post for you and you can edit it, but you also have the ability to regenerate that post. Say you're not exactly happy with, the way it kind of took the path it took to create this post, you can regenerate it and kind of keep creating new content based on that same topic. So you don't have to keep inputting that topic again. And so not only does it allow you to create a post based on a topic or a prompt, it also has that additional layer of creating a content based on a tone or a theme. People in our company, when we rolled this out, had a lot of fun doing, talk like a pirate, basically, and making the social sidekick create posts that sounded like it came from a pirate. My favorite thing to do is to use Austin Powers as an example, because he has a very distinct voice, obviously. And let's see what Austin Powers themed post about National Women's Equality Day gives us. All right, it's doing its work. And as you can see, the AI knows what Austin Powers sounds like. It took that prompt and it created a piece of content based on both the topic and the tone. So we've got groovy baby, like let's celebrate the badass women who have shattered the glass ceiling. It's just a really fun way to use the social sidekick tool to have a little fun. And personally, I know that I've had fun using this. So I know I've heard from customers who have had a chance to play with it as well, that they enjoy it as well. So that's kind of the first way I like to talk about social sidekick, which is from the perspective of creating content from scratch, from, a keyword or a phrase. But another way to use the tool is to optimize your existing content. So obviously, as Denim Social customers, again, you should be familiar with the content library. This is where you guys are storing and creating content, by the marketing team and making it available to other folks in your organization. Now, in the past, you've had the ability to create that content, distribute it to the team and allow them to share it. Maybe you give them the chance to edit that as well. But within Denim Social, with this new social sidekick feature, we can take that content that's been created and generate a new social post based on that content. And what that does is it allows your content to be diversified amongst all of your different producers. So when they're sharing that content, it no longer all looks like everyone is sharing the same exact social post, in a similar time frame. It may be all about the same topic. Obviously, if we're, generating content based off the same post, it's going to be the same kind of general idea. But by using the social sidekick tool, it allows you to generalize or to diversify the messaging in that content. So each individual person on your team isn't sharing the same exact content. And so that's a really good way to continue to, use your existing content in a new way using social sidekick. And then last but not least, another really interesting way to use it is to pop a link directly into the compose feature. So if you are using, our up content engine to use curated content, you could find third-party links there. You can also find third-party links just from anywhere on the internet and drop those into the text box and generate a social post based on that link. And what that does is, you put in the link, it sends it off to the AI crawls the website, and then comes back and generates a social post based on that, article that it crawled for you. And you can take that, again, it does all of the different social things like creating hashtags and adding emojis. You can regenerate that more than, as many times as you want to kind of create different pieces of content based on that same article. But you can also kind of customize it based on the network, which is something that Kelly and Connor mentioned earlier. And especially for places like Twitter, where they have, very specific, character guidelines. You can regenerate that post for Twitter specifically. And as you can see here, it shrunk that post down, and it's now within the character count guidelines for Twitter. And another thing I want to point out here is that it's also something that Kelly and Connor mentioned, but it's compliance. And as you can see here, we've created a social post based on this article. It used one of our flagged keywords. So all of the posts that are created through Social Sidekick are going to go through the same exact workflows. It went through keyword moderation. It has flagged that keyword here. And if we were to go and either schedule this post or try to post it now, we would get that same pop-up that everyone gets when you create a post that has to go through an approval workflow. So it would be sent off to the compliance team, and it would have to be approved that way. So the platform itself does not distinguish between whether the content is coming solely from a human brain or a human brain with the assistance of Social Sidekick. And that's kind of the long and short of what we can offer here in terms of, building AI into the platform and helping it kind of serve as your junior copywriter, as some folks in the organization have said. So I'm going to pass it back to Connor and Kelly and for any questions. And I hope that was helpful for you guys.
Thank you, Sarah, for that awesome demo. As you can see, the tool is super easy to use. If you all have any interest in a personalized demo, or if you'd like to chat more, please let us know. We're happy to help in any way that we can. I wanted to say thank you again to everyone for joining today. And also just wanted to give you a quick reminder that we're going to be sending out this presentation for you to have as a resource. Again, if anyone has any questions or needs anything, please feel free to reach out. Have a great Wednesday and happy posting, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.